Hi, class. We are going to read a picture book. It is called Carmela, Full of Wishes. It's written by Matt de la Pena, an award Newbery Medal winning author, and a Caldecott honor-winning illustrator, Christian Robinson. So let's see what happens. We open our book. It looks like we're growing things and we're on a farm because we've got people picking lots of things. And it says, remember, we read the jacket, so I'm just going to read this, just part of it real briefly. Carmela's birthday couldn't get any better. Today she's finally old enough to go into town with her big brother, and their afternoon together is filled with the magic of their busy neighborhood. From the bright sunshine of the fields to the sugary treats in the window of the panderia. So, let's start. Carmela, Full of Wishes. There's our title page. Remember, we always want to turn the pages from the top so we don't tear the bottom of the pages. So here we've got a field and there's lots of people farming. Carmela scooted along the uneven dirt path, watching men stoop to work with their hands, her birthday bracelets jingling and jangling. The thick greenhouse air smelled of marigolds and overturned earth and fresh manure. So it looks like she's riding her little scooter. Carmela knew exactly what manure was, but she didn't want to think about that. Not today. Looks like her family is getting ready for a little birthday. Today she woke to candles in her pancakes, and her mom sang, "Happy birthday to you," and told her, "Go on, mija, make a wish." But Carmela's wish had already come true. She was finally old enough to go with her big brother. Do you have a big brother or a big sister that you just cannot wait to do stuff with? So, look, there's a little fruit cart, the panderia, lots of things going on. Flowers, it's like a market. So everybody's doing something. Carmela followed as he cut back onto the street at Freedom Boulevard, past the crowded bus stop and fenced-off repair shop, past the old folks' home where two hunched old women waved smiles, past the huge home improvement store where her dad used to stand around weekend mornings waiting for work. Carmela tried to make small talk with her brother as their metal cart rattled, but her brother didn't make small talk back. He didn't want her tagging along. Too bad, she told him with her glare. That's like a too bad face. She's pretty irritated. But her brother is not that thrilled either, because he's got a cart probably going grocery shopping and stuff and doesn't feel like it. So Carmela's just going along. And just outside the laundromat, she picked a lone dandelion growing among the concrete weeds. She pulled a breath and leaned forward to the funny white bulb, but just before she could blow, her brother butted in. Oh, that's what's in their cart is laundry. "Did you even make a wish? You're supposed to make a wish. Everyone knows that," he said. "Of course I made a wish," she told him. But it was a lie. Carmela didn't know that. Carmela helped her brother sort colors one-handed, helped him load the washers one at a time. While their clothes spun, her imagination turned, each new thought ushered in by a jingle of bracelets. You're doing a good job. Her brother found the sound annoying and shot her a dirty look. "Too bad," she told him with her glare. They're being kind of crabby to each other, aren't they? She jingled her bracelets and she rode up to Miss Maria's vegetable stand. Imagining a machine built into her bedroom wall, one that would spit out anything she could think of, but mostly candy. She jingled her bracelets in line at the locksmith shop. Imagining her mom sleeping in one of those fancy hotel beds, she spent all day making for fancy guests. Not desks. She jingled her bracelets at the bodega down the block from their old apartment building. Imagining her dad getting his papers fixed so he could finally be home. She jingled her bracelets outside the pharmacy, eyeing the shiny new bikes in the window. Her brother stopped in his tracks. Why do you have to be so annoying? She thrummed her bracelets at him and said, "It's a free country." They live on the coast. Palm trees, water, I think. The only time she didn't reach for her bracelets was when her brother ducked into his friend's house. Carmela slumped down on the curb, silently imagining all the things she could turn him into. The slimy pink tail of a rat, a cockroach scurrying away from the light, a wheelbarrow full of manure left in the sun. She stared down, at the dandelion in her hand. It seemed so much more important now that she knew it was a place to put her wishes. But what if she made the wrong choice? Oh, that's so much to ask for a little dandelion. Carmela tried to hop a curb on the long trip home, but her tire caught and her handlebars twisted, and she went crashing to the concrete. "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry." But then she saw her dandelion crushed beside the drain. She looked up at her big brother, warm tears rolling down her cheeks. He lifted up her scooter. "Are you okay?" She shook her head and pointed. "My wish." He took her by the arm and led her back up the block, past the laundromat and the flea market, past the greenhouses and the smell of manure, past the overgrown park and across the train tracks. He didn't stop until he made it to an abandoned farmhouse near a cliff overlooking the sea. "Close your eyes," he said. What do you think he's going to show her? Look at the seagulls. Carmela closed them. "Now make your wish," he said. Carmela listened to the ocean's hum in the distance. She listened to the squawking birds. She listened to the wind whistling past her ears. And then she opened her eyes and she saw hundreds of tiny white spores lifting into the air, floating outward toward the far-off surf. Let's go, her brother said. Don't you want to know my wish? She asked. He shook his head. If you tell me, it won't come true. She looked back one last time and then took off her bracelets and followed her brother home. And that is the end. And this is Matt de la Pena, who wrote the book. And this is Christian Robinson, who did the illustrations. That's it for now. Carmela, full of wishes. Bye.